Me and Phoenix this week got to each play a game. I guess I'll go straight into my game first, seeing as how I started a mine just before you. But I finally got to play the kitty cat simulator game Stray that everyone had been talking about a week or two prior. And I will say for me, my feelings are not that strong for this game. I saw some people, I don't know if people were memeing or joking, because I saw a lot of people kind of saying, Stray, game of the year. People were like putting it above Elden Ring. That kind
Hmm.
of became a joke for a bit. I'm assuming that was a joke because I didn't necessarily walk away thinking this was a bad game, but it's to me it was just very niche. I don't really necessarily know who this game was tailored for. I think in my opinion what they were going for was cat lovers because it's not necessarily deep on the plot, it's not necessarily deep on the gameplay. So for me, it's just like people who love cats and want to have a semi realistic, take on a cat,
Hmm.
even though I don't necessarily think that's even realistic for cats. Uh, for me, I'm just kind of like lukewarm on it. It has some like sci-fi elements, but it never goes too deep on them. The platforming isn't necessarily super deep. The combat is not necessarily super deep. It's just kind of a cutesy cat game. If
Yeah.
that's what you're looking for, you know, then have at it. Oh no, get out of here, commercial. But yeah, like it just didn't do a heck of a whole lot for me. The game kind of takes place in this like futuristic sci-fi world where humans are all dead and all there is remaining is just a, some cats. That's the thing though, is like finishing this game, you kind of walk away with like, okay, but what else is there? Like you kind of help some robots, and your whole goal is to escape out of this dome
Hmm.
where there's like this encased society where clearly things have gone wrong. Uh there's some like alien
It's like fungus alien thing, right?
fungus thing that somehow may have been the downfall of humans, but you're not sure. I think that is my biggest problem with the game, is ultimately when you finish it, you still aren't quite positive as to what has caused the downfall of humans. Where did they go? Why did
Mm.
they die off? Where did this race come from?
Is
I
this
mean,
one of
maybe
those
it's
games that like maybe there's more lore stuff kind of hidden throughout and you just overlooked it? Cause
yeah. I mean, because they have like little segments as you go throughout the game. You can uh, there's like memory things that you unlock.
hmm.
That's kind of sprinkled throughout, and I feel like I got like 60, maybe 70% of those.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe there's something that explains it, but
I mean, I haven't
I don't know.
played it, so I have no idea. I think I watched like
Like Hyperion,
one.
if you're saying there's a thing that says "remember"
Oh, okay,
on
yeah, I see that.
screen, that kind of those little things kind of open up some sort of narrative that
Mm.
kind of just the robot like talks to you, of which the robot, from what I understood, was like a human who had moved his consciousness from his body into. It's really, I don't know. I didn't really get who this game was for, which is kind of sad.
All right.
It was
Yeah.
a fun game. Oh, sorry, good.
No, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's a fun game. But it's again, the biggest question for me for the game was who exactly was this for? I don't know.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much in the way of experience with the game. I was never really, just by watching the initial trailers, turned on to it too much. Like I'm kind of the same boat. Like, besides it being a cat game, what else is really, unique to this game that makes it worth playing? Like replace the cat with any other character, and it's just what looked like an okay platformer. Which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just didn't overly appeal to me. I do think I watched one lore video when I was kind of browsing through YouTube, and it seemed like they had some interesting things to say. I said, apparently it
Sure.
may not come across when you played it, but I know people were like theory crafting that all the robots are actually their human consciousnesses. Is that what you say that? All kind of
Mhm. Run the
slotted into the
robots.
robots. Yeah, and they've
Hmm.
just all forgotten that they were even human because they've been that way for so long. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
that's an interesting narrative beat. I mean, I don't know how much they really expound upon it. I mean, you said the game's only 5 hours, so I'm imagining it's not anything overly in depth. But
No. Yeah, it's just the game had it throughout the entire experience. It all builds upon like It all leads up to you wanting to like get to the outside world and see what's going on. Is there
Hmm.
anything happening? And then at the end of the game, it kind of just farts in your face, and you get to sit there and because you get outside, and then it's like you it gets outside, and you I don't want to ruin it, the total spoiler, but yeah, it's just kind of nothing.
This isn't
The
going to be
game
a
ends.
Returnal situation, right, where you hate the ending, and I send you a video in like 2 days, and like, oh, the ending was amazing. I was wrong. Oh.
Well, I think everyone kind of. I don't know. No, I don't think it's that.
Okay.
I give it an 8. I didn't even just notice that. IGN gave it a great
Hmm.
9.
I think everybody was just very hyped on this being a cat game. Like, I don't know, you know the internet. So I think, just it appealed broadly to that cutesy nature and probably felt more different than it actually was. As I said, I didn't play it, so this is completely just
Mm-hmm.
superficial,
Yeah.
bystander. But every piece of gameplay I've watched, I did watch, some Let's Plays of it, not like full playthroughs, but, I watched some of yours and so a couple other streamers, and it all just looked like standard, navigate around an environment, you jump on some stuff, you do a few
Hmm.
cat interactions with knocking crap over, which, okay, that's a cat, but
That's basically the whole game. It's very basic combat, very basic puzzling. There's some platforming. That's mainly what the game is a lot of platforming sections and some easy puzzles.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really get much out of it. I mean, luckily for the game, it's sub 5 hours, so it's
Hmm.
like if that game, if it honestly, if it would have went on much longer, then it would have made that disappointing ending even worse. So I don't know. No hate to this development studio. It was a fun game. Again, I would suggest it for anyone who loves cats and wants some cutesy sections between cats and robots. And, I don't know. That was all I got out of it.
Fair enough.